Hi everybody. So, does this look interesting? Can you see all the different designs that are going on here? The different textures? There's some dots that look like they're behind my wall, and there's like little squares right here, and on my shirt there's some little designs. So this is kind of fun, and this is sort of what I want to do today a little bit. We're going to be drawing three different tangle designs. One is a circle, and it's a design inside that circle. And then the other two are squares, and they're a series of squares, sort of like a grid. And it's just a design element. It's just fun to do this once in a while instead of drawing what we normally do, like a person or a place or something. This is a design where your mind can kind of just have fun, and you can color it in any way. Like the way that the camera decided to color my studio here is just not even anything that it looks like, but it makes it kind of fun. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to be drawing something that's just fun. Okay, so you'll just need paper and a marker and then anything you want to color it. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, everybody, we're gonna get started. Okay, so I have the supplies on the table here just to show you some of the stuff that I'm going to be using. I put crayons here just so, you know, in case you want to color yours with crayons. Crayons are like one of the best art mediums. I love them because you can blend them, and on top of colors you can put white, which for this orbital design, adding white to some of the colors is really fun. But I'm going to be using, on my samples that I'll show you, I'm using colored markers really because the color's so saturated that it really shows up well while you're seeing it on your screen. I'm going to set those aside for right now. And then I grabbed something round from the studio. This is a old tin, you know, that I think Candy or something came in a really long time ago. It's been around forever. I'm going to use that as a template. You could also use a compass or a little plate, anything around the house. You can also freehand a circle, which might be the easiest thing. I'm going to do the bulk of the drawing in this Sharpie, and make sure if you want to use a Sharpie that you have permission from your parents or from whoever's watching you at the house. And then, or you can use a pencil and then trace over your lines with a black marker later. Okay, so those crayons, when I opened it up, got stuff on the page. Okay, so I'm going to use the marker here, and I'm going to lay the tin down and use this as a template for the circle. And the first thing that we're going to draw is the circle, and this is the base of the drawing. Circle just like that. Now, what we're drawing is this crater, this crater ball, and the crater ball has, when we finally get this done, you'll see that it looks like it has a hole in it, and that's what we're trying to achieve. So the first design that we'll do after this big circle is to draw another circle about half the size, and this smaller circle touches this upper left hand area of the circle, and you're just going to be doing a circle inside the circle that looks like that. And then the next line is a straight line that goes right through this smaller circle. And then on this straight line, you're doing a curved line that sort of looks like a smile. And then inside this little smile area, you're going to be doing 5 curved lines. And you want to sort of utilize this section of the curve to build them off. And what I mean by that is, don't start all of your curved lines over in that corner where the straight line and this curved line meet, but rather have your lines move out to this curved line. I'll show you what I mean. So begin your first line by doing this curved line that goes like that. Your second line, you come over just a little bit, curved line, and you're going to be doing 5 of these curved lines in this section. So there's number 3, and then number 4, and then number 5. Okay. Now you're going to be doing the same thing over in this section, and the same thing applies. Come on the inside of this curved line, because this right here is the hole of the crater. So you want your curved lines to begin on the inside of that smile of that curved line. So 1, I'm going to do 5 lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. See how you can kind of see that there's sort of like a hole there? And one thing you can do, either with your pencil or your marker, is draw some little dots to make it look like it's a little darker in there. And then if you squint your eyes, you can kind of see that it's a little darker inside there. Now you're going to be drawing 3 more circles inside of this circle area. So the 3 circles are going to go in between that circle and this circle. And what you're going to do is you're doing the same thing that you did to this this small circle here. You're going to follow it and draw yourself 3 of these circles. Okay? Now, the next thing you're going to be doing is you're going to continue these curved lines all the way to the edge of this outer circle. So you're just going to follow it to the edge. Just like that. Now, when we go to color it, you'll see that it really can look like it's an orbital. And one thing that really does help is if when you're coloring, to make this area right in here a little darker on your colors. So if you're using crayons, just you can do maybe like a some little series of marker lines or marker dots to emphasize that that's the that it's a little darker in here. Or you can do it with your pencil. You can also take, if you're using crayons, you can take, if you do like this stripe is going to be orange, you could do a darker orange in this area, just shading it. You'll see what I mean when I show you the samples. So there's the first tangle that you're doing, and that's the orbit. Okay, the next tangle that we're going to be drawing is a square. And a square shape, and there's 9 squares inside the larger square. So you can do this with a ruler if you want. I am going to freehand it. It's supposed to be something fun to do, so if you don't want to use a ruler and you just want to freehand it, it might be a little bit more relaxing to do it that way. So draw yourself a square. Not a rectangle, but a square. And then inside that square, you're going to be drawing 9 squares. And in order to do that, you want to draw 2 vertical lines that are the same space apart, so equal spaces between these right here. And then you want to do 2 horizontal lines. So 1, 2. And just go slowly. Now, inside of these 9 squares, you're going to be building your design. And the first thing to think about is in this top row, in this upper right-hand corner, here, here, and here, draw a diagonal line down to the opposite corner on that, all of them just like that. And now on the second row, go to the upper left-hand corner and go down to the opposite corner, like that. And this bottom row, do just what you did at the top, upper right-hand corner, do a diagonal line down. Now, the next thing that you're going to be doing is inside these triangles, you're going to be drawing horizontal and vertical lines. So start with this triangle right here. In the upper row, the lower triangle, draw horizontal lines. And try to do like 4 in each one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do more if you want. And then you're going to come down, and in this the lower triangle of the next row, do more horizontal lines and try to do 4, or try to do as many as you did in the upper one. So if you did 3 or 5, do 3 or 5. I'm doing 4. 2, 3, 4. And then do this bottom row like you did the top row. The lower triangle, do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to do vertical lines, and you're going to be matching up with those. And what I mean by that is your first line, your first vertical line, will come down and touch the corner of that line. You see what I'm doing? I'm coming down and I'm touching that line. All the way across. And that's why you want to try to do the same amount of numbers in each one so that they're sort of even with each other. So you're just meeting each line in the corner. Okay. So there's your next one. Now this one, you can imagine how fun this could be to color. You could just go to town coloring this. You could also just leave it black and white. You could do every other square black and then just leave every other square white. You could do, tons of rainbow colors. You could do like the opposite colors together. But that's when it's really fun to do. And if you don't want to do straight lines, you can do curvy lines. And what I mean by that is if you have one square that has the triangle, straight line, the diagonal, if you do these and then do the opposite, you can do something like that. It could be really cool looking. These could turn into like leaves inside of this. There's all kinds of things that you could do by playing around with just this simple design that can be really, really fun to draw. Okay, the next one is also a square design, and it is, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be drawing 4 vertical lines spaced evenly apart, just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to be drawing 4 horizontal lines. 2, 3, 4. Just like that. Now inside of this section, so you just like the last one you drew, you had a box with 9 squares. Think of this one as the same, a box with 9 squares. Inside of each one of these 9 boxes, you're going to be drawing a side box like that. So, you see what I'm doing? I'm drawing a little line vertical and a little line horizontal all the way over. This one I didn't come all the way over. So it looks like there's just a little corner box inside the box. Now the next thing is inside this smaller box that you drew, draw a diagonal line from corner to corner. Now draw another little box inside that one. So you're following this little box that you made earlier by just drawing a straight line down and then a straight line over. And make sure you match at the corner, just like that. Try to make sure you match the corners. And what I mean by that is here this is a larger one of these smaller boxes. So what I did, I made a box that went like that, and then I drew a diagonal line, and then I drew another little box, and I always meet at the corners. If it doesn't meet at the corners, it won't make any sense when you start to color it. Now, I will show you some samples that will be just still pictures that you will be able to see of different ways to color this. You can do this black and white. You can do this just with a pencil. You can, shade just this top part here so that it looks like it's in the shadow. You can do all of these like little black boxes and not have the diagonal line go through. There's all kinds of fun things to do with that. So there's just one more design for you to do. Now that's it. I'm going to be, I'll show you some colored pictures of the orbital, the orbit crater, and then these two square designs, I'll show you some colored samples of those. So you can have so much fun with just these simple designs and see what you can do with them. You'll have a lot of fun and just experiment, and it's a fun way to doodle. Anyway, that was fun. Thank you. Bye. Here are some colored samples of the design that's inside the squares, the 9 squares that are inside the larger square. And you can see this one, I did 2 shades of pink. In the camera, it sort of looks like it's one is an orange, but it's actually 2 shades of pink. The next one is orange and white. I just left the whites white and then colored every other line orange. And then the next one, it's 2 different shades of turquoise. And what I did was I made the tops, the vertical lines, the dark turquoise, and the horizontal lines, lighter turquoise. And if you kind of squint your eyes, you can kind of see that all of these, the boxes kind of look like you're sort of going into the box. So you could do all kinds of fun things with this. You could build or draw yourself a house and use this as a staircase or a hallway, or in a cave or something. But anyway, so it's just a fun thing to know how to do, and it's fun to just doodle with these. So there's that one. And hang on, I'll show you the next 2. Okay, and so here is the orbit. And you can see I did it as a sort of like a color chart. And so I used yellow, orange, reds, pinks, purples, blues, and greens. And you could do this in all kinds of ways. Instead of doing it the way that I did it, you could do the top part, the top circle yellow, and as you go out, you could do orange, red, purple, blue, something like that. Or you could do every other space black and white, or a color. There's just all kinds of fun things that you could do with this. But anyway, and you see how the inside of the whole area, I just put a whole bunch of dots from the Sharpie and made it look like it's really, like it's going deep in there. And then I put some lighter colors on the edges of the little boxes so that it sort of looked like it was shiny. And so there you go. There's that one. Here is the 9 boxes inside of a box, and that looks sort of like a shadow box. The first one I just did with yellow, 2 shades of pink, and 2 shades of purple. And the second one, shades of orange, and I colored the inside of the box black. And then the third one, I made it sort of like just black and white and gray, and colored the inside box black. So there's samples of that one. Okay, so there you go.